Hello, hello, hello. Welcome again, another Monday with your girl, therapist, Tanasha Smith, and I am operating from a private practice called Mastery of Self, and I welcome you on my page, my Facebook page. I have an IG page also, which is at Mastery_of Self. I come on here every Monday. I call it Magical Monday because you have the power to control yourself and you can change your day and your routine to make yourself feel better because you are always in control of self. I also am a new author of a book called Once Broken, and it is a story of myself going through my own depression and overcoming the depression and anxiety and all the trauma that I've been through in my life. And so I share that story with you. Good evening. I share that story with you so that you can realize that no matter what you may go through, you can overcome it with your own strength and your belief. And so as a mental health therapist and also specializing in trauma, I come on here and I inspire my viewers that come on. Thank you for coming and sitting in with me and just being in the presence with me to talk about serious topics. And so you can find me also on LinkedIn as Tanasha Smith, and you can find me on IG, and you already know where I'm at on Facebook, right? And my telephone number for my private practice is 905-218-3515. And my email is info@masteryofselfinc.ca. I almost forgot. I do have a website. If you put Mastery of Self Inc., you will find me. And so today I want to acknowledge that it is May. And May carries a lot of great things. For one, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And it's also the Women's Month. And so because of this, I want to bring forth some questions for you. I was thinking of doing a topic, but instead I said, you know what? I'm going to ask my viewers to give me topics that I can discuss during the month of May. This is our first Monday, and I'm for every Monday for the month of May. I want to come on here and talk about things that you think that I should talk about. And it could be infidelity, it could be marriage, it could be on depression, anxiety. I want you to bring up some topics. So as you come in here, I encourage you to just drop in some topics in here. Good evening. Drop in some topics in here that you think that I should talk about, bring awareness about. You know, some of us will think about mental health and we just think of crazy people walking on this earth. And you know what? If that's the case, we're all crazy because mental health has no look. And you can look as fine as me. And you can look even crazy and not be going through nothing. It doesn't have a look. And so as long as we keep thinking, good evening, welcome my dear, as long as we keep thinking that mental health has some kind of look, we're going to always avoid talking about it. I find joy talking about tough topics. You know why? Because it comes easy to me. And so I encourage you, type in, put in the message box, what is it that you want Tanasha to speak on in this month? What are some topics that we can speak about? Even self-care, something that I had to teach myself because my mom, my grandmother never taught me how to take care of myself. Self-care is also internal work and it's exterior work. And so if we think that self-care is just getting the nails done, because these nails need done like a long time ago, but due to COVID, I gotta make it work, right? And so it's not about just getting the nails done and getting the hair did. It's about the self-work within. What are you doing to build yourself up? What are you pouring into yourself to give yourself the best thing ever, which is love? What does your love look like for you? You see, in order to get to a place of peace, you got to be able to talk about the nasty things that are in your mind, the negative things that come up in your thoughts, the things that people have done to you or maybe you have done to somebody else. You have to release the stories that are built up inside of our womb for us ladies and fester inside of us and turn into diseases. And those are topics that we can talk about. And I want this platform to be engaging. If you don't feel comfortable putting it in the chat box, maybe emailing me and asking me questions that you think, or ask me to talk about on topics that are interests of you. You know, we live in a society that we don't talk about suicide. Nope, I think I brought this up already. We don't talk about suicide. We don't talk about suicide thoughts and how they come up in our minds and where does that come from? How does that even develop? I would love to talk about that. That's also in my book. We don't talk about, you know, the things that we do find fault with ourselves. We do things and we beat up ourselves so much. We are the biggest critic when it comes to ourselves. And before we even approach a new opportunity, we already told ourselves we're not deserving of the opportunity. We will never get the job, or we never get the husband, or we never get the wife. So we already beat ourselves down. Where does that come from? That could be a topic that we discuss also. You know, mental health is not about just the fact that the word itself, mental health. It is learning what is needed from within to fill up the mental capacity with the good stuff on a constant base. How do we keep the consistency going? How do we upkeep our mental state? That yes, we're going to have bad days. We're not perfect. We have to have bad days in order to accomplish the good ones. But what is it that we need to keep our mental state at a good level, which is high frequency? I tell my clients all the time, keep your high frequency, positive energy, high as possible, because you can always control you, right? Yes, self-sabotaging. I would love to talk about that because I used to do that all the time. I would be told, you know, you have an amazing way of articulating yourself. You know how to say the truth and you know how to talk to people without hurting them. And deep down, I was beating up myself, telling myself I'm undeserving of my job. I'm undeserving of everything that I thought was just great. Because you see, when you're not used to receiving goodness, when you receive it, you don't even know what to do with it. That's another topic. Not knowing how to receive love. Not knowing how to receive compliments. I did not know how to receive compliments. I used to just put it this way. Their compliments would be sent my way and they would drop to the ground because I didn't believe them. And so there's many things when it comes to the self. If we're not willing to accept and believe that we are powerful beings, we have the power to change things through prayer and just the belief alone. If we understand that we have authority, we would be in a better place. But because we are surrounded with many things to occupy and distract us, especially when it comes to our emotions, we can talk about emotions too, because my emotions used to overcome me, that it used to control my days, my hours, and my minutes. And we can talk about those things because you see, when we talk about the things that nobody want to talk about, at least when you're ready to take the leap into change, it will happen because you're ready for it. You see, sometimes we want healing and we don't know how to turn to ask for help. Some of us don't even want to ask for help. We don't even know how to ask for help. That's the problem. I didn't know how to ask for help. I wouldn't dare ask for help because I thought when I ask for help, I look weak. I look weak if I allow these people to know that I needed help. So what did I do? I put on this superwoman cape thinking I can conquer and do all things, and drained and burned myself out. And this is also in my book. And so this is something that I had to learn over time, that I can ask for help and I can learn to let go, right? Because sometimes we hold on to certain things and they're not serving us well. We need to learn to let go, right? We can talk about situations with regards to our children. I was not taught how to parent, and usually what we do, we follow what our parents do. And so communication, the freedom of speech, honoring and respecting our children, because some of us think that because we are parents, we control them to speak, to do, to even think, right? And that is not a great way to parent. To parent is to teach your children to respect themselves, also to respect the family and hold values and principles, but you also want them to be able to open up and share what's on their mind. We can talk about that, my dear. We can talk about it all. And so I want to encourage you to just drop in some themes so that I can come on here and keep inspiring you to be your best self. It don't matter what age you may be. You can be 100, and if you're just waking up out of your sorrows, you still have another day to live. There is nobody's promised tomorrow, but as long as you wake up and you realize you're breathing, you have an opportunity to do things differently. It doesn't matter what happened in the past, because the more we go into the past, we stay in the past. And the past has a way to just captivate us and just hold us hostage, right? Because we want to keep thinking about woulda, coulda, shoulda. Why didn't I didn't listen to this person? I could have been better off. I could have been further more in my life. We learn to let go, and we can talk about that. And so the reason why I come on here every Monday, it's not just to, show my beautiful face. No, it's not just that. And just to talk about the fact that I'm a therapist. No. And to also spread about my book. No. I want you to believe by looking at me that I'm a living testament of some stuff that I've been through. I want you to believe, yes, I am a therapist, but whatever you want to become in your life, you can do it too. And so being who I am in my gifts that God has given me to be able to speak into people's life and to help them heal and come out of the rut that they're in, I want you to believe that you too can have all that your heart desires, that you too can just believe in the things that you have thought about as a child, that you too can accomplish all the things that you have seen and dreamt about in your life, and you can accomplish them as long as you are living. And so because things were done differently in the generation before me, I believe that if I share the knowledge that I know now, and I can change not only the generation that's coming after me, I can let people understand with this color that we're wearing, it ain't gonna stop me from being me, right? Even racial trauma is a topic that we should be talking about. A lot of us go to work and allow people to stab us in the back, spit on us, not physically, because I'm telling you right now, if someone was to spit on me, Anyway, and so we are spit on, stepped on, degraded, taken advantage of. And so because we already sense that we could be one of maybe 20, 5 of maybe 40 of color, we already know that we ain't got a chance. But I'm telling you right now, that which is also in my book, that once you know who you are, once you realize your power, when you realize that all the chitter chatter is just chitter chatter and you need to believe in yourself of all that you are made up to be, nobody, black, white, yellow, orange, pink, brown, nobody can shut you down. And so it's not that I'm avoiding the fact that we are black people in general. We need to understand that we just has the same power as everybody else. But if we keep our mouth shut, nothing will happen. We need to open our mouths and we need to talk the things that are on our minds. We need to tell people when they're wrong. We need to speak up in meetings. We need to ask to be put forward our opinions and our concerns. We don't sit back and allow people to fight for us. We have to fight for ourselves. And it's not only just racial trauma, having to work in a workplace where there's another black female or male who's fighting against you. Come on, we need to talk about those things. How does it affect you when you realize that the one other black person that you're working with is against you? Oh, I can give you tricks. I can even give you just even affirmations to wake that up and destroy it in the name of Jesus. And so that is why I do what I do. I come on here as a transparent therapist because I don't want to seem like I am bougie because I have a title. My title ain't nothing. as I'm more than my title. I stand strong in what I believe in, and not because I have a title, I'm better than you. No, that is not who I am. I have a title because I have a profession and a passion as to what I like to do. And so I don't walk and wear my title. I share my heart and what I believe others need to know. And so I hope as I close off that I have given you some inspiration. Mental health is about self-care for me. Maybe for other therapists, it's something else. But for me, it is about self-care. The amount of percentage that you pour into you on a daily basis, add that up and see what you come up with. And if you ain't coming up with at least 90% when you're done, something's wrong. You are a priority, not your children, not your man, not your workplace. You are a priority. Why are you a priority? Because if you ain't got you, there ain't no you. You ain't going to be that number that walks in to check in when you got to go to work. You can't wake up to your children and be for them or do for them because you ain't pouring into yourself. You need to pour into yourself first. When you wake up in the morning, you first. Your God and you first. Pour into yourself. Speak life into your situation. Set intentions in the morning when you wake up. My day is going to be great. I'm going to be marvelous. I'm not going to let nobody trouble me. I'm not going to let no negative energy destroy my positivity that I got going on. And even if it does, you got to speak into it that you're changing a thing right now. And so when I come on here, people, I'm thanking you for coming on here. When I come on here, yes, you are a priority, my girl. A priority. You first, right? And that means even what you receive from others, you teach others how to treat you based on how you train them. And that could be a topic that we talk about too. I teach people how to treat me by example. And I train them. You don't call me when you feel like calling. You don't text me when you feel like texting me past a certain hour. That is called boundaries. Learning to have safe boundaries, right? And so boundaries, there are professional boundaries. There are friendship boundaries. Yes, and there's husband's boundaries. And there's children boundaries. Oh yeah, you don't get all of me. And then I don't have nothing for myself. No. I get me first. You get a little bit. You get what I want you to have. Right? And so before I get too hot up on here, I'm going to close and I'm going to wish you guys an amazing Monday. And yes, the sun's not shining, but you let your light shine. You don't let no one dim your light. Don't let nobody come and trouble your mind. Take control. Speak over your life. Have a prayer life and keep in the word. And if you have to fast and meditate to keep your sanity, you do what you need to do. But Mental Health Awareness Month is taking care of you. Taking care of your mind, your spirit, and your body. Putting you first. Hello, welcome. Putting you first matters. That's blessings, Miss Kelly, blessings. Putting you first matter, no matter what. Don't let nobody come and dim your light. Shine as bright as possible because you matter. Have an amazing Monday evening. And I want you to message me. Put in the chat box before you exit off. Put in a topic that you want me to speak on so that next Monday when I come on, I have something to talk about. And if not, I'm going to find something anyway. But as you know who I am already, and you can see the title over my head, Mastery of Self. What does it stand for? To master yourself entirely, to be your best you. That's what it's about. And so I bless you all. Yes, I'm done. Welcome. Come on in. I welcome you. Yes, that's a good one. So we got self, sabotage, and boundaries. All right. Put in some more themes, people. Put more themes in in the chat box, and so I can speak on it next week. And we're gonna make May a live month because you know it's about us, and it's also about our mental state and how we can keep our energy at high frequency. God bless you all, and I'll see you soon. Take care.